Tales of Berseria is like a long running, or the Tales games, a long running JRPG series. Very anime influenced. They have anime cutscenes in like every single one at this point, starting years ago to now. But the key difference is the battle system that is not turn-based. It is you running around doing almost a fighting game type of system. And recently, they've been kind of very changing this system up. And I think overall it's good. I'm not a big fan of anime either. But I enjoy these games because of the battle system. They've been changing it up because it used to be, if you go way back, it was you're on a linear line, and you're attacking someone, the enemies on that line, and now they've started to open it up, and you could just run around, do all the different sorts of attacks. They've changed the combat and changed all these different things with it, and how skills and arts and special moves and all that behave and interact. And I think the biggest change, because it used to be, you'd have an attack button and then you'd have a special attack button, which would change based on if you were just pressing the button or if you're pressing up and down and then left, right. It would change the attack you'd do. So it was like attack, up, special attack, down, special attack, whatever. You'd do that. And now in the previous game, Tales of Zestiria, which this is like a quasi sequel to, which is awesome. In the previous game, they changed it to where the attack button would change based on what direction you were pressing, and then the arts would also change based on that direction. And in this one, they change it again, which isn't even necessary. They instead of refining the system from the last game, they kind of just let you run around in a circle and do whatever you want. And every single face button, A, B, X, Y, yeah, it's all four, does a different attack. And depending on, like if you press A, it does this attack. And then if you press B next, it does the second one in the B column. And then if you press Y, it does the third one in the Y column. So you make these weird combos. But it's so convoluted and doesn't make any, there's no way to plot and plan how you're going to be attacking these things because you're just button mashing. You're constantly doing attacks. You're constantly managing this gauge of how much you can do attacks. There's no mana or anything. It's just this ever refilling gauge of how many attacks you can do. And that's not as fun to deal with to me. As much as I appreciate getting rid of MP, I always feel it's limiting and doesn't make the fun. It doesn't improve the fun in these games. This system leads it to where you'll be attacking something and then you'll have to stop because you can't attack anymore. And you can't, thanks, I do the show every Friday, not always JRPG stuff. But you attack these guys and then you'll run out of this MP, let's call it, for lack of a better term. And then I'll just stand around. And you can't even guard when you're doing NP, or because you don't have any MP. I hate saying that, MP. Ridiculous. You can't guard, so you're running around not attacking because they got rid of your neutral, just generic punch or kick. It's Saturday. Shush. Just shush. It's this time on Saturday then. It's 12 a.m. Saturday. Merry Christmas. So you can't attack, and then the battle system with, I don't know, it's a mess to me. I really like the game overall, but this battle system, man, if it was just literally any other Tales battle system, this game would be better. I don't really like it. There's this side system with the MP, effectively, where you have 3 squares of it, and the squares are assigned a value. I'm not sure what the value is, but it's not like an attack does 1 square or an attack does half a square. It's just like some nebulous number in between the squares. And you have 3 of them, and then you can get up to 5. How do you get up to 5? I'm not really sure, because everything's using all these terms for no reason. Just like, this is a mystic art, and this is a beast art. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. Like, you told me, but I really do not understand what any of that means, or why, or how. Like, and you can see in this video, this is the demo, but it's constantly, here's a tutorial about this at the beginning of the game, and that's typical for JRPGs. But man, I don't know what any of this stuff is. It's like, oh, here you go. When you have at least one BG, you could press up to spend one BG. I'm like, all right. There's too many conflicting, obnoxious systems here that don't make any sense. And then once you start looking at it from this other angle, they changed. It is Dragon Ball Z. They changed two other systems for the worse as well. And that is, one is the equipment. So instead of just getting, oh, this is a new sword, it does plus 20. That's better, right? Now you'll find a bunch of swords. Just a bunch of the same sword. And you can dismantle them, and you can enhance them with the same materials that you could dismantle them with, right? This is the art skill tree that I'm talking about that makes no goddamn sense. So you'll end up with 5 amber blades, and you gotta pick which one you want. And each equipment, not each sword or whatever, a vest, a boot, a ring, it doesn't matter. Each one has a skill that you learn by using it in battle. And then once you learn that, you have plus 5 attack permanently. So you want to get every single piece of equipment and learn the skill, right? But with each piece of equipment, you can also enhance it with the materials from other versions of that same thing that you've dismantled. It's a giant mess. It's a giant mess. And it's not even you can enhance it once or twice. It is, oh, I can enhance this plus 10. I'm like, this is too much. I don't know why. It was so much better and simpler and more fun when it was just, here's a sword, here's a plus 5 sword. And it is a cool system, and it is interesting, but it's with everything, and it's too much. When every single piece of equipment, if it was just the weapons, that'd be cool. That's a really cool system if it's just the weapons and just the armor, right? But it's like you can equip 4 or 5 things on each character, and I have 5 characters now, and it is too much. It is way too much nonsense to be shifting through all these things. It is very fucking confusing, and I've played 15, 17 hours of the game. It's very confusing. So they changed that. That's for the worse. They changed another thing with the level up system, and they changed this on every game as well, much to my chagrin. Because in Tales of Xillia, it had this sphere grid type of system where you'd get skill points when you leveled up, and you could pick, oh, this character, I want them to have 50 more HP. Let me do that. Or I want them to learn this skill that's over here on the grid. I'm going to go over there and level that up. Makes total sense, right? In the last Tales game, there was something different. Doesn't really matter. In this one, there's nothing. There is nothing like that. You level up, honestly, I'm pretty sure your stats do go up. The game doesn't tell you. The game doesn't pop up with like, hey, you gained 10 HP, 5 attack, whatever. You know how Pokemon does it, just the easiest example. When you level up, it tells you each stat that goes up. This game doesn't even tell you. But I know the stats are going up, but I don't really know by how much, what's even happening. Every once in a while I look down at my HP, it seems higher. I don't know. It's so frustrating because I really like the story and the characters and the graphics, and it's like super flashy and fun, but it has one of my least favorite Tales battle systems with the least favorite level up system and my least favorite equipment system. Like, it's just all these other systems, and the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, I don't know if I like this game that much. It's just unfortunate, and it's really, it sucks because they make these areas that are huge compared to the previous games. They've really improved storytelling over the years in these games. It's still behind the times, but that's kind of the flavor of this, and it is getting better. It has a cool story. You're playing as the bad guys, essentially, and they're not as black and white bad guys, but you are just like, oh, this cult, or the church, we'll call them the church, took over this continent, basically, in the last 10 years or whatever. Yeah, we're going to kill the Pope, basically. That's what the game is. Like, oh, we want to kill the Pope, so we're going to go over there and kill him. And that's what you do. And everyone else that's with you is like a demon. There's exorcists that are the bad guys, but you're the bad, you know what I mean? Like, you're the bad guy, but they're the good guys, and they're exorcists. That's really cool. I super enjoy that. But man, is it just the systems behind it all? I don't know. Oh, there's one like the other big thing they added was these like little orbs that you collect in the levels, and they respawn, so it's not like collect all of them and you get a prize. It's just collect enough of them over time, and you'll unlock little doodle bops to put on your character, like little hats. It's stupid. It's real dumb. But I had this one character in a cowboy hat, and you can make him really big. So I made him have this cowboy hat that was legitimately larger than him, because it was like this little kid, like this little 12-year-old kid in a giant cowboy hat. And it's really enjoyable for me. That is what I like about this. My brain is hurting. It's a mess. But I like these games, man. I really do like these JRPGs. The more I think about this one, it's just frustrating and not where I want it to be. The systems are so close to being... I should have just bought Persona 5 is what I should have done. But whatever. I'm not regretting the decision. The characters are so cool. Maybe I'll just turn the game to easy and just fucking blow through it. Just to see the story. Because it looks a lot cooler than it is to play, I feel like. You're doing all these moves, you're kicking things. Kicking things are fun. I like all the characters. You're kicking things. I said that already. There's also this meter next to the characters. It says a 1. Next to their HP, it says a 1, and it goes up to 3. It probably goes up higher, but that's all I have it right now. It only goes up to 3. I don't know how that meter builds. I have no clue. Everything in this game, I'm like, I don't know. Something to be happens. I don't know.